And so we organized the project in 4 IOs. What is IO? It's intellectual outputs. It's the jargon of Erasmus Plus projects. Maybe you know this, or if you don't know, it's just like work packages in every project. So we designed it in 4 IOs. Every IO is a technical phase in pedagogy. I will mention it later because it's a model to implement a new um, curriculum and design a new program, teaching and training program. So we started the CHET curriculum design in the first IO. And then in the second IO, we developed the learning contents. You will meet them later on. And in IO 3, Avaka led the e-learning environment. So we designed the e-learning environment, and technically they made this e-learning environment available for us. And these 3 IOs have passed. Now we come to the 4th IO, piloting with students and recommendations. Of course, we will talk about how it will happen in the future. We used a pedagogical method, in fact, a model for curriculum design. I am not an expert on this, but I can try to tell this, but if I'm missing something, my colleagues may follow the details. So the first one is a cyclical curriculum design process. This is as you can see, it's a cyclical design process. It starts with analyze and continues with design and develop, implement, and evaluate. So this is a curriculum design process aims at creating effective teaching resources. In the first IO, or in the first phase, we started with analysis. We collected data from the learners. Maybe you are the one of the teachers who just answered our surveys, or you were the one of the teachers who were the target audience. So we collected data from the target audience, from students and from teachers, in order to understand their characteristics and needs. For this, we used the methodology of Delphi study. Probably you have heard about Delphi study, but theoretically it means it's an iterative process to obtain consensus by collecting the judgments of an expert panel, or using a series of questionnaires interspersed with multiple feedback and discussion rounds. So we had multiple feedbacks from the experts, and we also had a desk study, and we made lots of meetings in order to apply the right curriculum for the needs of our teachers. So the experts, the target groups was the engineering higher education teachers from Spain, Turkey, Denmark, and Lithuania. And they had teaching experience at engineering university faculties. So we did 2 rounds of online questionnaires. Each question followed up the second round. In the first round, we have 101 participants, and in the second round, we have 66 participants. And after this deep analysis, we find these major findings at the end of the first IO. 97 of the respondents think that there is a need for a training on how to use creativity techniques methods. I think you also agree with this, so that you are in this training. Only 56 of the respondents believe that their colleagues use such teaching methods and techniques. It's like half of the teachers we have asked, they don't think that their colleagues use these teaching methods. Even though we ask them, they don't effectively use these teaching methods and techniques because of lack of knowledge, or lack of interest, or lack of time for understanding and implementing this in their courses. Thinking about the insights about the context and purposes to be developed in the training program, most of the respondents say that they will use these techniques in classical teaching setting. Of course, we did this half of the analysis before COVID and half of the analysis in the COVID, in the beginning of the COVID situation. So the setup in their mind was still classical teaching setting, face-to-face teaching, because um, all of the teachers, we didn't realize, didn't experience a huge, long online learning period. Maybe these response will change when we ask, for example, the same questions today. We don't know. So 16% of them request that the methods should fit their team collaboration settings. This is very important because normally team collaboration is uh, underestimated in engineering teaching education. So I will show you how we have done some examples in EGE about the team collaboration and creativity. And 22% of them long for creative techniques that enable mindset shifts and innovative thinking of their engineering students. They would like to learn something new. They would like to implement something new so that they can also observe mindset shifts in the future in their students. And the training build on experiences and extend them, focusing on less frequently used methods like experimentation, gamification, and creativity workshops, for example. And majority wants a course with formal exams and certificates. So you will see that at the end of this online program, training program, you will get a certificate from which is generated by an online platform. Okay, so what about the findings? What do you want? I will talk about you. What do you want? But asking 100 per person, 100 higher education teachers, what they want, that they believe that creativity techniques will offer their students more solution to tackle some specific problems like problem-based learning, design thinking, so they can implement them in their courses so that they would improve these techniques. They think that creative teaching methods and techniques could improve the motivation of their students and engage them, make them experiment more, make them implement projects in detail. They're open to these different perspectives when analyzing a problem, and they can even find the subject more interesting and develop critical thinking skills. So higher education teachers need more training, more tools, more resources in creativity. So you will see that we have created 31 different sources, different methods for you, so that you can choose any of them to implement in their own courses. So the amount of resources we will offer to you in this course is quite high, but it is important to choose the right one for your own course, for your own technique. So we will help you to choose them, how to choose them for an available technique. So we will, at the end of the analysis phase, again, the analysis phase was hard to do. We started the design phase. So the second one is the design phase. We worked on the curriculum design with experts, and we have listed the gains for higher education teachers, and we have also listed the gains for higher education engineering students. So what about the teachers? If you have any idea, if you need anything different from these gains expected for as an education teacher, engineering teacher, please give us a feedback so that you will be able to understand the Sorry, someone just bumped into my room, so I lost my concentration. So once again, if you are you think that, I would like to please observe and have a look in deep detail to this curriculum objectives. If you need think that you need more gains, different gains, or irrelevant, if you find something irrelevant for you as a higher engineering teacher, is please let us know, give us a feedback, because the curriculum objectives are quite important for a good curriculum design. The engineer will be able to use creative techniques in their teaching process. It will be able to know how to use collaborative techniques in connection with creative teaching techniques. Uh, he or she will be able to use and find new creative ways to motivate students in their learning process, and will be able to design teaching processes based on creative thinking skills. That is quite important, because you will design your own courses according to the creative thinking skills that you learned from this training program. And it will be able to have the skills to use creativity related some technological tools. We will mention about some technological tools that you can use during the teaching process, because as you can see, digital learning materials are quite embedded into our lives as teachers. So we don't only use these presentations, these slides or pens or white paper for teaching something. We use some technological tools, some software for giving our students the background of how to use them. For example, we use Miro, we use some other tools that can help collaborate, teach the students together. So it will be, he or she will be able to know how to evaluate the students' creative learning processes. So the evaluation is quite important, so that we can help us learn how to do this evaluation, if they have gained these creativity skills or not in the future. Okay, so yeah, moved my slide. And so about engineering students, they will gain the ability to solve problems using both divergent and convergent thinking. So uh, the group of my colleagues will talk about the difference between divergent and convergent thinking, but I can give these keywords to you to search to Google for at the beginning, because we will mention this divergent and convergent thinking during our CHET program a lot. Create original solutions for technical problems they face, because normally when students learn something, they always use the same path, same method for solution of a technical problem. But then if we need original solutions, and sometimes we need more innovative solutions for a technical problem, they would like to process this and figure it out how to solve this in a more creative way. And integrate theoretical and practical information regarding creativity, develop collaborative working skills on creative problem solving, and offer solutions to real life problems like with creative thinking skills, and use creativity methods and tools in physical and also digital environments. And afterwards, the CHET curriculum would give you some qualifications like creative learning techniques, motivation skills related to creativity, creative thinking, problem solving skills, digital skills related to creativity, and evaluation skills related to creativity. Let me have a look at these course contents, because I'm sure you would like to learn and see more about our courses. So I have to stop sharing and make the sharing once again, because it's in another, yeah. Here, my colleague will talk about this CHET project website. This is not a website. In fact, this is a learning platform, but you will face this homepage. I'm not going to talk about the courses here because my colleague will show you how to reach the courses, how to use them, how to watch them, and how to fill in the evaluation form and so on. But when you just click on the resources here, you can have a look at the IO1 report. This is our curriculum, in fact. This is our curriculum. And so it's about creativity techniques for higher education teachers, curriculum design and development methodology. Can you see my screen right now? Because I'm not sure if I can show you the right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So if you are interested in our analysis part of the creativity techniques for higher education teachers program, and if you are interested, of course, in the background and in the state-of-the-art knowledge about creativity and teaching, you can have a look at this resource because it begins with introductory of what we have done, talking about creativity techniques, talking about how important it is for students and teachers, talking about the EDI model for design, and then how we choose the people, the respondents for the analysis, and so on. So I will pass this all, the questions, the responses. If you would like to interested in observing this, we have lots of interested numbers and interesting numbers and figures out. And at the end of this analysis, of course, we come to the CHET training curriculum. So you can see the general objectives of the program, engineering students, impacts, qualification, and the program content. So what you can see here as an evaluation, you can see this curriculum as an annex here. So you have this all given in the platform as well, but you can see that we have 3 units, 3 main units, and under each units we have some topics, like here and here you can see. And also there are these techniques that are given to you as a tool, as a toolbox, so that you can use the category or phase of creativity, like is it convergent or divergent? Is it a group activity or an individual activity? What about the size of the group? What about the duration of the technique? What about, is it digital or face-to-face, or it can be implemented both? Type of the class, materials, tools needed, classroom activity, and also some tips about assessment and evaluation. And so let me go back to the PowerPoint slide. Can you see my PowerPoint screen, or shall I change it? I'm not sure about this. I think I have to change it.
Yes,
okay.
need to change it.
Thank you for also sharing the link to the resources. If you would like to have a look at the links to the resources, please, you can if you would like to give feedback for, of course, the curriculum, you are welcome, because we need this. So the third phase was the content development. So the program is set as 3 units, and it can be completed between 18 to 24 hours. Of course, you can complete sooner or later. It depends on your period. It depends on the time you shared for the program. We have 3 units, and under each unit we have 3 to 4 to 5 topics, and every unit will finalize between 6 to 8 hours. So if you have a look at the toolkit is the most interesting one. You can select any creativity technique among 31 techniques that we have shared with you, so that you can my colleague will show you, you can choose the right technique for your course while filtering from the parameters that is of interest. So that's quite an interesting thing to follow up. And also the assessment methodology is given. We have some quizzes at the end because they're easy quizzes, but it shows you that, you know, to take a certificate, you have to follow up a quiz and then solve, and then the module training is completed. And after we finalize the phase 3 of AD, I mean content development, we showed what we have done to our colleagues in our universities. Maybe you remember these multiplier events from your own university. In Denmark, there was a multiplier event. You can see it in the CHET project news list. There are other events. There is another one in Vilnius Technical University. There is another one in UPM, and there is another one in Ege University. I will show you one thing later, maybe, because we also have some different activities under this website. I will show this later. It's engineering education. If you're interested, it's an engineering education congress, which is hosted by Ege University every year, so that I will show you later how we implemented this in the beginning. So that is, let's leave it to later. And then we come to the fourth phase, the implementation. So today we are all together in the implementation phase. This training program and some other programs that we will implement in the future will be the EDI training program, will be the part of this training program. So we will help you to learn how to use this e-learning platform. We will give feedback on, you will give us feedback on the CHET e-learning platform. We will teach you we will help you to learn. Teach is not a good word for it. Help you to learn, guide you to learn creativity and creativity techniques. And you will learn how these techniques can be used in the classroom for each purpose. You will learn how to apply these techniques by some digital materials in the classroom. And you will give us a feedback on the CHET curriculum. Please do this. We will send you some surveys. You can call us and or email us anytime you would like. If you analyze the curriculum afterwards, if you have some comments, please let us know. And also the learning materials, of course. You will give us feedback on the learning materials. If you think these learning materials are lacking something, missing something, please let us know so that we can improve them until the end of our project and later. So because we would like you to use this training after the end of our projects. So we think it should be sustainable as a project and as a training program. So you will use these techniques in your own classroom, hopefully, and you will help us take feedback from your students as well. Okay, what is next? The next phase will be AD phase 4 and 5, implementation. I mean, more implementation and also evaluation. So we will have a pilot program with you. Okay, now you are selected as the ambassadors of CHET. What do you mean? So we will we will ask your help to use these techniques in your classroom and to talk about this to your colleagues. I mean, when you return back after this training program, please share this knowledge with your colleagues so that they can be also part of the CHET implementation team, so that they can register CHET program, they can finalize this training, and they give us feedback. Because we would reach at least 15 higher education programs from each university. In fact, you are two of them, I hope, so that you can pilot test these CHET learning environments with the contents. And all of you provide feedback on the usefulness and relevance of the contents through questionnaires. If possible, we ask you to implement a selected technique in a classroom next semester, of course, not this semester. But that would be nice to have this, because from each university, we will ask at least 2 teachers to do this. And we will send you the evaluation technique to use in your classroom to apply for your students. There will be some questionnaires, of course, not very, hard, tough quizzes. They will be all in your local language. We plan to finalize the piloting next semester at the end of the semester. Based on the feedbacks, we can revise our program and the contents and publish our recommendations report. So when you just click on this resources link next semester, at the end of the next semester, you will find 2 new reports, documents, recommendations for higher education teachers and recommendations for higher education institutions. So what do you think? Do you think that this is okay? So I will come to the discussion session later. I will just show you one motivational thing that we have done for creation. So this is an example from Ege. I think all of my colleagues will show you some different examples. So in this example, it was about, maybe you know about this, biomimicry, biodesign. So this was another project that is for um, engineering and architecture higher education teachers. And we implemented these trainings. Of course, it was before the pandemic, it was face-to-face, and we teach the teachers how to understand from how to observe the nature, how to understand from the nature, and how to mimic from the nature. So we have made lots of good workshop activities together. And afterwards, we help them to reach their students. So these students, in fact, this is very new. It happened recently. And it's in Turkish, but I will translate. It was in April 2021. It's an interdisciplinary co-creation activity. For this, we don't have only the students from engineering faculty. We have some students from faculty of architecture so that they can design. We have some students from faculty of biology, and we have a student from faculty of civil engineering and other engineering. So we give them one problem. It's based on problem-based project based learning. This problem was about the insects giving harm to the corpse, so that how to get rid of this. So they examined the insects by the help of the biologs, and they just designed how to get rid of these insects. So they found out that these insects they don't approach polarized light, so that they designed an architectural environment based of polarized lights, so that this is both technical design something. So kind of collaboration techniques with students make them more innovative, and they can have good projects. So most of the teams here, this is just example of one team, but we have 4 more teams of kind of students. What we have organized is we deliberately selected different students from different disciplines, so that they can understand each other, they can fill in a problem or problematic way. We use the creative techniques to help these students understand what is happening, and we left them to understand, to solve the problem. So that is also problem based learning methodology.